Well, can we beat City this weekend? Well, that was going to be my next question for you. Do you think, can you beat City this weekend? Are you feeling confident about Arteta and your boys doing it?
Nope.
Why not?
That'll upset everyone. Oh, you're so negative. Why not? Have you seen our record against them? Oh, but records are there to be broken. Yeah, okay, mate. Yeah, like they've just had their best start to a Premier League season under Pep, but apparently we've bridged the gap. Yeah, after we beat MLS All-Stars 5-0, we've bridged the gap. They're weaker. They've just had their best start ever under Pep.
Do you know if you beat them at the weekend, it will be a worse start for them than last year, points-wise, after 8 games? Yep. So, I mean, you could literally, again, on another note, if you win that game, which you've got a chance of doing, it's a worse start than last year. And you guys, barring 1 point, every other metric of yours is better than last year. So, again, I know you might not do it, but Arsenal are on the cusp of a really good start again. But why, again, other than history, why don't you think you've got the ability to beat them?
Terry, look at the record, mate. The record's ridiculous. Yeah, at least KDB can't get his standard man in a match and goal against us this year. But you know, I just look at people are saying no Rodri. I see all of our fans laughing. He got sent off. Oh, he's suspended. Like they need Rodri to beat us. How many times they've beaten us before Rodri played for them? Like, come on. Yeah, if I'm Pep Guardiola right now, I'm saying, yo, Doku, bruv, you're on Zinchenko's side. You're not playing left today. You're going Doku. Doku, you're going over on Zinchenko's side because Zinchenko can't defend. And they've got good attacking players. So straight away, that's a red flag for me. We're going to play a defender who can't defend. Right? So that's one weak area on the pitch. And that's probably our weakest area. Declan Rice has been superb. He's been absolutely quality. It's like he's played here forever. Yeah, so I think midfield, if we go with Havertz next to him, good luck. That's now 2 weak areas. Because now we've got Havertz and Zinchenko, both on the same side. Any competent winger goes straight past the pair of them. Yeah, and if I'm Pep, I'm saying, yo, you're on Zinchenko's side. Grealish, you're on Ben White's side. Winning foul after foul after foul after foul. Yeah, and Doku, if Zinchenko wants to go gallivanting like he always does, then who's defending? Who's defending him? Well, then we're going to slide Gabriel over, but then that means that Saliba comes over, which means Ben White comes over, which means Grealish is going to have Saka back there, which means we're not going to be so potent. But on the flip side, Trossard's back. Yeah, that's a big boost for us. I think. Well, we'll see what happens with Saka. Yeah, the guy's always literally limping off the football pitch recently. So I don't know, but listen, he's scored in pretty much every game he's played this season, or done something in every single game this season, and he's our most consistent player. Jesus against his old team, I think he's quality footballer, but will he get us enough goals? That's my only issue with him. I don't think he will to win a title. Midfield's going to be key. They got Bernardo back. Yeah, they got John Stones back. They could go with Haaland, Alvarez, Doku, Grealish. They could have Bernardo in midfield with Calvin Phillips. Although that's a weak point for them. He's useless. Yeah, he is shocking. True. Just see him for their losing goal at the weekend. He was just stand there ball watching. But I don't know, man. Like their defense is too good. I know they conceded 2 against Wolves, but their defense is too good, mate. Their goalkeeper's world class. Their defense is world class. And they've got defenders that can defend. None of this inverted rubbish. They defend. Yeah, Kyle Walker's Kyle Walker. And if he's on that side with Doku, oh my days,
you say no inverted rubbish. I swear Pep was the man that brought the inverted stuff into the Prem.
And guess what? He's now stopped doing it and everyone else is 2 years behind. Genius. Because now he's not doing it.
He was doing it last season when he won a treble.
No, he was doing it last season until he put Nathan Ake at left back, which was halfway through the season. It was in January he did that. He put Nathan Ake at left back. And Nathan Ake weren't inverting all the time. Nathan Ake was getting up and down the pitch.
This is the thing. I still see his players that play at fullback coming on the inside and picking the ball up in the middle. I still see it. And someone's talking about it.
Yeah, but Terry, they don't do it all the time, is what I'm saying. Yeah, right. Nathan Ake does not invert and gallivant over to the right wing. How many times have Arsenal fans and other people, you watch Arsenal, how many times you've seen Zinchenko at number 10? When did you see Nathan Ake at number 10? When did you see Nathan Ake at right wing?
That's what Zinchenko does. But yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. And the problem is, that's all well and good against teams like Bournemouth. Fantastic, cool. Right? But against Man City, when they have got a potent attack, Yeah, you can't be doing that. And I'm hoping that he ain't going to be running around. I don't even want to see him on the pitch, if I'm honest. Yeah, I can't stand him. Yeah, I can't stand that guy, man. He can't defend. He's just a PR puppet. So sick, virtual signaling one as well. And I'm sick and tired of him. Yeah, he's not very good. I would rather go with Tommy Asu at left back, if I'm honest. Put Tommy Asu at left back, drop him, play Saliba and Gabriel, and then play Ben White at right back. Yeah, midfield, I'd go with Thomas Partey, he's back. I'd go with Partey, Declan Rice and Odegaard, and then the front three, I'd go Jesus, Trossard on the left, Saka on the right. Yeah, and I think that we'd be a little bit more solid defensively without the ball. Yeah, because Tommy Asu ain't going to go gallivanting. Yeah, if Zinchenko plays, yeah, good luck. If Havertz plays, we're finished.
I mean, listen, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, you sound like you've got absolutely zero confidence whatsoever, though.
I never do against this lot, Terry, unless it's at Wembley. If it's at Wembley, it's an out-on win. Yeah, like cup semis, Charity Shield. Like we've done them so many times at Wembley, it's crazy. But in the Premier League, no. Yeah, and let's be real. Like somebody said, didn't City lose recently? And what? And what, mate?
Twice, actually, in a week.
And what? And he's only ever lost 3 times in a row, once in his career, and that was 8 years ago at Bayern Munich. Yeah, they're playing Leipzig tonight. And either way, let's just be real with this. Yeah, Man City could, if they lose tonight, then they are like ready to take. Yeah, I don't think they'll lose tonight though. Yeah, I think they'll come out with a proper performance tonight and they'll go and slap like they do every year. But in the Premier League, I've got no confidence against them, Terry. Yeah, because the history tells us that we bottle it against this lot every single time. Every single time. And I know you can change that. We've done it with Tottenham. We didn't win at their ground for years until last season. We've done it with you lot. Yeah, won at Old Trafford. I get it. But this is a different animal, mate. Yeah, they've got a geezer up front who was absolutely shocking at the weekend. Yeah, and has missed about 20 big chances already this season. If he finished his dinner, he'd be on about 20-odd goals. And I think he's still the top scorer in the league, isn't he?
Yeah, let me ask you a question then. I understand your disposition on this, and I get it. Say you do beat them, and you do play well, and you do overcome this massive hurdle and gateway for you. How much more confidence will that give you in Arteta and your team if that's done? Like, how do you think is this the type of game, based on what you're saying, where if they put the performance in, if they get the win, if they show the guile and the ability to, is this one of those moments that can start to change your mind?
Potentially. But ultimately, you've got to win the league. Yeah, it's no good beating Man City and not winning the title, is it? Because last season, we didn't beat them twice and we still didn't win the title. This season, yeah, cool, we get that off our backs, go and beat them, but then you still don't win the title. Like, you've got to do it. Doesn't matter whether it's convincing or not. I'll take a scrappy, double deflected on goal to beat them, but ultimately, you then have to kick on. And I do think the mentality side of it with Arsenal, yeah, is if we do beat Man City, I think psychologically, I think that'd give us a massive lift. That'd give the fans a lift, it'd give the players a lift, because the players must be sick and tired of losing to that lot. Like, honestly, like, it was like when we used to beat Chelsea. We could be 2-0 down at the Bridge and then go and score 3. Like, but then eventually Wayne Bridge scores against us, knocks us out the Champions League, and we couldn't beat them for 15 years or 10 years or whatever it was. But then eventually we got that off our back, and now they can't beat us anymore. Same with Tottenham. They need to get that off their back at our ground. They can't, like we did with theirs last season. So we'll go to their ground this season and we'll be like, boy, we beat you last season. We're doing you again. But until you get that out of your brain.
And I hear you, mate. You know me. I think mentality is key. The reason I bring it up is this. I understand where you're coming from. And I also believe a lot of people will make City the favourites in this game. City are pretty much the favourites in every game they play, probably barring Liverpool away. That's the only game where I don't think they're ever the favourites.
Tottenham away as well. They've never scored
I think there's 2 elements here psychologically, not just for your club, but for you. And I get what you're saying. Ultimately, you've got to go and win the league. I get that. There's no point winning this game and then finishing 4th, right? I get you. But there's 2 things that could happen if you win this game and then do well in your next 2 matches. Away at Chelsea, which let's see what they're doing in the next few games. But Chelsea's probably a game in the last few weeks everybody's wanted. And then you play Sheffield United at home. Should be simplistic, should be. But there's 2 things that I would be looking at from your point of view. And that's, one, beating a team that you think you've got no chance of beating. What does that do for everybody's mentality? Secondly, if you do beat them and then win your next 2 games, and these are ifs, it would be a better start in the opening 10 games than last year. City would have a worse start than that point. And I remember you saying last year, now, let me get to the end of this because I'm not trying to say you've been caught out. It's not about that. You said we won't start the season as good as we did last year, and City included in that. I'm talking here about a genuine mentality shift and the players believing in themselves. If 2 years running, you have started in not quite identical ways, but you end up in that same position with a slight advantage over them, and you've beat them in that process. Remember, last year in the opening 10 games, the reason you didn't get to play them is because the Queen died. And you guys were absolutely brilliant then, and they weren't. Right? No, I don't sound like I'm not blaming it on. I'm not blaming you not winning the league on the Queen passing, but it's not. You know this exists in football, right? I'll give you an example. Right now, or in the last few weeks, would have been a pretty good time to play Chelsea. You don't know in 3 months how good Chelsea are going to be because teams go through form and they go through patches. I'm just saying, from this point of view, Arsenal fans shouldn't get carried away, but there's a good opportunity here if you beat City to have a better start to this campaign than last year, when a lot of people, and maybe even deep down inside their own minds, these Arsenal players thought, maybe we won't be this good at the start of the season again. That is when I saw Liverpool start doing that in those early years under Klopp. That's when they went on to win titles and Champions Leagues because they started to believe in themselves. So I'm, as an outsider looking in, I'm very intrigued about this game for all the psychological reasons you mentioned.
Whilst that's all good and well, right, and it's great and it's fantastic storylines and all of that, yeah, somebody says Terry's gassing it, 100% he's gassing it, right? But at the same time, Terry, even if we are 8 points clear of Man City, yeah, I'm still not confident.
I get that
because we got shown in the last January transfer window the ambition of this football club. Jorginho, Kivior, Trossard, fair enough.
Best player you bought, your best player in the squad you bought.
Yep, I'm happy with him. I've wanted him for time. I want Pedro Neto at Arsenal. I've been calling that for 3 years. Yeah, now all of a sudden everyone's on the Pedro Neto hype. Where you been? Obviously,
they're irrelevant players though, because their goals and their ability never won a title, so irrelevant.
No, they ain't. Yeah, they ain't never won
I'm winding you up.
Listen, he ain't never won anything. But I'll tell you something. Yeah, he's a top player. Yeah, same as Ivan Toney. Yeah, and we're going to see the ambition of this football club come this January. If we go out there and buy Ivan Toney and Pedro Neto, yeah, and another midfielder, and this is what winds me up with the Kai Havertz thing. Everyone keeps waffling about what he does off the ball. Sorry, when a footballer's got the ball, there's 21 players off the ball. So why him? Why is it, oh, but off the ball he does it? Okay, well, 21 players are off the ball when one person has the ball. Why is there no excuses for him? And then, oh, he's adapting to a new position. Why don't we just go and buy Mateus Nunes for the same money? Why don't we put a bid in for Paqueta? Why don't we go and bid for somebody else who's an expert in that field? Yeah, instead of putting our money into him. And that is why I will call this club out for its deficiencies at times. Yes, it's been a great start to the season. I said to you on this show, I said, we will not win 9 out of our first 10 games because I wasn't convinced, Terry. I wasn't convinced. Listen, we still haven't won 9 out of our first 10 games yet.
No, of course,
long way to go, right? But at the same time, even if we're 8 points clear going into March, yeah, I'm still not confident because we know that this team, who have had their best start ever under Pep, could be worse off if we beat them, of course. But as it stands right now, it's their best start to a season ever under that manager. But we also know Kevin De Bruyne's going to be back soon, next couple of months. He's going to be back. We also know that they're flying towards the end of the season. They do it every year. Yes, Gundogan's gone. Yes, Mahrez is gone. Cool, Laporte, whatever. Right? But at the same time, we know that when they click, they click. Yeah, and them 2 results that they've just had could be a reason to go, oh, actually, reality check here. We need to fix up. And furthermore, all Arsenal fans that were laughing that they got knocked out of the League Cup the other day, find shame. Yeah, they're genuinely the only club in England who can sit there with a straight face and say bigger fish to fry. Yeah, because they got knocked out to the team that finished bottom last season, right? And then won a treble. Yeah, so I have a bit of shame with it, innit? Come on.
I hear you on that.
It is what it is, Terry. Yeah, the fact is, for me, we have to be clinical, right? We have to be super clinical against them, but we also have to be mentally switched on. And we've got too many players in this team that switch off at times. Yeah, in that first half against Bournemouth at the weekend, the amount of times they ghosted into our box was crazy. Yeah, Kai Havertz, apparently he's great off the ball, never tracks a runner. Yeah, never looks over his shoulder, just lets a man run off him. Yeah, Zinchenko's never in position. And it was only the fact that Gabriel and Saliba were making last-ditch slide tackles in that first half, yeah, that Billing and who's the other lad they got up front? He used to play for Chelsea. Can't remember his name. Solanke. Yeah, they could have both scored had it not been for last-ditch tackles. Yeah, so if we do that against Erling Haaland and Alvarez and Doku and Grealish and Foden and whoever else they've got, yeah, we're in big trouble.
I hear you on that. I want to do some of these super chats here.